Bam, we're live. -1. I think JR Howell is going to join us, which will be interesting. I'll try not to have John Young Wi-Fi. How about just show up? Oh, damn. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, yes, I did. Is that picture someone put into AI? What if Rebecca Vidison was goth?
Where? What?
In the network chat? In those pictures?
Let's see.
I had a fucking brilliant idea, and then fucking Tyler Watkins fucked it all up by bringing up the word goth.
You don't like that word?
No, I'm just not into goth chicks.
Looks like Jenna Ortega.
It looks like who? John Ortega?
No, not John.
Oh.
Jenna.
Oh. I don't know who that is. Is that someone in our space or someone famous?
Famous. I like the differentiation, though.
JR says 2 minutes, master. Thank you.
Check it out. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Does that look like her?
Yeah. Is that Selena Gomez?
No, it's the chick from Wednesday.
Oh.
Which you've probably never seen either. Look, it looks exactly the same as that picture. It's crazy.
Does Sevon take Viagra? Yeah, wow, that is crazy. I tried Viagra, I don't know, like 10 years ago. It's fucking crazy recreational drug. Talked about it many a times. Pop a couple Viagra and 2 Vicodin and you could service fucking your whole town. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Drugs suck because then you always want to use them again.
I don't know. I wasn't into using that one again. It's so crazy. So crazy. It's almost painfully crazy.
That's why they suck. Painfully crazy.
What was I yesterday I went to my kid's surf camp, Hiller.
Okay.
And so you go down these stairs and the beach is called Privates, and it's this big, huge fucking like it's a huge beach, not like Newport Beach huge, but it's in a cove. So for a cove, it just seems massive, right? It's like 3 separate beaches that are partitioned off by these rocks that kind of jet out into the sand, and then you can walk around to the different beaches. Can you kind of picture that? Like 3 coves. Yeah. And when you go down, you go in between 2 coves. So there's 2 coves on your left and 1 cove on your right. And it's just this crazy just sets of waves coming in, and there's surfers everywhere. And so you go down to the spot where you think you're not going to see anyone, and you walk down there and there's fucking just surfers and just hot people everywhere. But if you look 2 beaches over to the left, there's a nude beach.
Oh.
And it's and you can just see them. They're little old guys walking around.
Only old guys.
I mean, that's what it looked like to me. It just looked like old tan dudes, skinny old tan dudes. But I was thinking, like, what do you do with a boner if you're at the nude beach?
You just lay down in the sand and dig a little hole.
Oh, okay. All right. Solved.
Face down.
Yeah. Sevon, it's hard to hear you talk about Viagra since you look like Ari. Oh, Jesus, criminy. Wish you wouldn't have said that. JR, what's up, dude? I'm tripping that you're here, JR. I'm really tripping. I called after I asked you to come on the show. I called Hiller and I was like, "Man, what's this dude gonna say?" I was just trying to picture you. I was trying to picture you on the Kill Taylor show.
Dude, I would add so much value to the Kill Taylor show. What you don't know is that there's a Kill Taylor show before the Kill Taylor show, and it's me talking to Taylor about the workout and emotionally shepherding him through all the decisions prior to.
Did you tell him he was going to lose last week too?
No, but today when we were talking about the workout for Thursday, after we decided on the workout, he was like, "Can Colton do this?" And I said, "Well, he's competing this weekend, so I think you're safe."
No, he's not safe.
How much did that hurt when Colton said in the comments, "Sorry, Taylor, I didn't want to do that to you"?
Blame John Young. I think he was poking him the whole time. Hey man, come on, go do it.
I just don't see you.
I brought him up and he commented that little pig face. I remember.
I feel like 80% of the show is just like saying like just insults, inappropriate insults, and I just don't see. I don't think you have that in you. But maybe we'll see.
JR's got it.
He does.
Oh yeah,
it's in there.
But he doesn't have the talk over people aspect to him. I don't think. He's too respectful.
No, I see how frustrated Sevon gets when he tries to do his serious shows and everyone's talking over everyone and he leans back in the seat. He gets so mad.
He does do that. Someone messaged me and they go, "Hey, you were super sarcastic during Europe," and I go, "Yeah, I don't know shit about Europe. Like, what do you want me to do?"
Hey,
This is the face Colton made.
So
the pig face.
Oh yeah, that was great. Okay, we may have to lower our mics. I'm gonna lower my mic a little bit, just so that they can hear Dave, and then you guys tell us how the volume is. So listen to the title of this. This just came out a few minutes ago. May 20th, 2024. Watched a recent Hiller video. My response to it. What's your first thought, JR, when you see that? The title.
Is this the first one? That was my initial thought.
Like this is the first video he's ever watched of Hiller's?
Yep.
Yeah, what did you think, Hiller?
I thought it's going to be funny when I make a video saying I reviewed a review of my review on the Dave Castro Weekend Review.
You posted that somewhere?
I commented it, but I haven't watched it yet on this video.
Reviewception.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, I think I found out who No Rep News is. I think it's yeah, I'm 99% sure it's Mike Halpin.
Really?
Yeah.
What gave you that idea?
No, there was just something he said in the I don't want to reveal too much, but there was some things he said in the comments, and then there were some things that he posted, and he's the only person that I'm hearing some of this stuff from. So I'm like, oh, he outed himself. So there you go. Mystery solved.
Mystery solved.
All right, you guys ready for this? I have a feeling this one could get squirrely.
Do you think Mike would misspell the word duty?
Is it D-U-D-E-Y?
No, it's
like duty, like someone took a duty in their shorts.
Go to No Rep News's next to last post, and it says, "Be sure to do your patriotic jury." It should be duty. I can't see Mike misspelling a word and posting it.
Oh, interesting.
Now Sevon's only 95% sure.
So you're voting against that it's him.
Correct.
I saw though in his most recent, didn't he post something recently and someone in the comments said you posted it so fast that you misspelt it? Didn't he misspell something in known and knowable? Let me see if I can find that
either.
Let me see.
I don't know. He's a man of exactitude, so I can't see that happening to him.
Let me see if I can see it in the comments.
Sometimes No Rep News is a little bit too flavorful to be Halpin, though. Don't you think? Like sometimes it's a little bit like zesty.
Oh no, sorry. I thought that someone commented that he tried to post something so fast here that. Anyway, I'm still putting my hat in that it's Halpin.
I like that idea. I could see it being Halpin.
Unless it's JR and JR's frustrated that Halpin's going to get credit for it.
This is a good point. Mr. Barkley. It's too many Instagrams for Halpin to handle.
Is it though, Barclay?
I don't know, dude.
No way.
Yeah, he can handle an Instagram or two.
Yeah.
The question is, whoever it is, if it's not Peter, is it really just poking Peter to put hashtag satire? Because then we could really go down the rabbit hole if it is Halpin.
Explain that to me.
So yeah. he posts hashtag satire.
Uh-huh.
So is that just a dig at Pedro?
Oh, who posts that? The No Rep News guy?
Correct.
Oh. And that would be very Halpin-esque.
Maybe I should start hashtagging satire.
JR doesn't have time. It's not Hiller's style, but it's definitely, I mean, for a while I thought it was spin maybe.
I still think it's spin.
No, he's in fucking Yellowstone. He doesn't have time to be posted. He hasn't done anything. You do still think it's spin?
How do you say this word? Anonymity. Anonymity?
Anonymity. Anonymity's a hell of a drug, Hiller.
It's a tongue twister. Say it fast. Anonymity. It's like that fish in.
Hey, spin rich.
Excuse me?
Brian Spin Rich. Is Spin Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took me a while.
Not like you, Rich, but maybe for like normal people.
Okay. For a Midwest guy, he's rich. Okay. Okay, guys, here we go. This one's gonna be wild. Hang tight.
It's gonna be mild, actually.
Just call this two drunk dudes and JR.
I'll just sit back in 8 minutes.
Okay, here we go.
8 minutes.
Oh, wait, I got to do it 125 speed. We don't have fucking all day for this.
Probably how long he's going to talk about you.
Oh, that's cool.
2024. It's a busy week. A lot of stuff going on. Semifinals started this past weekend. Pretty good event. Excited about getting our first group of athletes to the games. I'll jump into comments and then cover a few other things towards the end. First of all, though, I want to talk about Hiller. And so a video last week popped up into my feed.
Notice how narrow his lips got. He's already fired up.
I didn't
One of
notice.
his videos. A number of them do on my YouTube.
A video popped into my feed, meaning he wasn't looking for you, right?
It wouldn't be the first time a video would pop into his feed. YouTube knows.
Right. So, oh, interesting. But he's trying to avoid the fact that he went and looked for your video.
I got a buddy who hasn't done anything CrossFit in a decade. And he goes, I get fed your videos. And if he gets fed my videos, Dave certainly gets fed my videos.
YouTube feed or like a YouTube notification on my phone. I never watch them, but I decided, all right, I'm going to watch this one. And so the last time I watched the full.
Why did he decide he was going to watch that one? Why?
Do you only get a YouTube notification, though, if you subscribe?
Yeah. And you got to click the little bell.
Why did you watch the video, dude? Do you think someone told him to watch the video and he's just not saying it?
What is the thumbnail? It's got Born Primitive on it.
Does it have him on it?
No. It's got Born Primitive on it. I wonder why. Must have been a good thumbnail.
Call Dave, Sevi. After the games. Here we go.
Video of his was probably last year around this time. I wanted to see, people were saying a lot about him, and at that time I hadn't watched any of his videos.
So it's been a year since he's watched one of your videos. He just claimed.
I wonder what video that was.
So I watched 4 or 5 just to get a sense of what he was saying and his perspective on things. Anyway, so just watch this one. And there's a few points I want to talk about. One of the points is the credential thing. He's acting surprised and well, maybe not surprised, but he thinks he should have a credential. He's highlighting that he didn't get one. And a number of other people in my comments have said, hey, why didn't Hiller get a credential? And he talks about Craig Ritchie and the Buttery Bros getting credentials and how relevant he is in the space. And then he goes into this whole tangent about,
I mean, you are relevant in the space, and
I'm having fun with him laughing and having fun with it. This is good.
You are relevant. He's relevant in the space, right, JR? One of the most relevant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of definition you want to use for that word, but I would say it's hard to say Hiller is not relevant in CrossFit.
Like crazy relevant, like injecting, like at the 300,000 foot view, he's injecting so much energy into the space.
He's as relevant as he is polarizing.
And look at the engagement on his. I don't know anyone who has more engagement than him anywhere. And he gets naked on camera.
I'm more relevant than Craig Ritchie and the Buttery Bros, and that's the only point I was trying to make.
How about combined?
No,
oh.
I don't think I can't claim that. I can. Well, I like to claim it with certainty that I'm more relevant via metrics that you can point at. I can't do that.
And are you surprised that you didn't get a credential?
No.
Are you surprised he didn't get a credential, JR?
Yes.
What's the guy's name? Liam Neeson and his film Taken, and basically insinuating how he's going to be a nightmare for us. Hey, look, here's the deal. He'd be a nightmare for us if he was there. He'll be a nightmare for us, or try to be a nightmare for us if he's not there. So like, don't act like by getting the press credential, you're going to show up there and you're going to turn a blind eye. You're going to turn your head towards the things that you would normally launch after, like this whole contrived drama that you tried creating over the first workout or the rope climb workout, where on the last round we are having the athletes for the flow of the event and for the race run from the box jump across finish line instead of going back to the rope and doing one where you'd have all this crossing at the end. So it's just clean and makes a better race for them to go across at the end. Whatever, forget that. Point being,
is that true? If you were there, would you be less critical?
I wouldn't have time to be more critical. It's the whole point.
You wouldn't have time. Oh, because you'd be too busy dealing with the actual event than hanging out on the outside.
It's like what you say. When you go to the games, you got a goal, you got a purpose. It's like I'd be trying to gather content of the things that I think people would want to see from the event. When I'm sitting around resting on my laurels, I have people throwing me everything that they themselves see, and that's generally not the best of CrossFit. It's not like, oh, did you see how fast so-and-so did this? It's, did you see how they messed up that or this?
Do you think they should have given him a credential, JR?
Yeah, see, when I think about CrossFit, I try to think about it like other sports, and I know that might be a fool's errand in some ways, but take Stephen A. Smith. He's without a doubt the most popular media person probably in all of sports, and it's because of First Take, because he's a guy that just starts talking, and he talks about people, and he has outlandish takes, and he doesn't back off, and he goes after athletes specifically by name when they do things he doesn't agree with, and he's super relevant, and you either love him or you hate him. So to me, having Hiller there, they would never tell Stephen A. Smith he can't go and report at a basketball game. They would never tell him that, ever. Even if he wasn't working the game for ESPN, they would never deny him the ability to go talk to athletes, talk to coaches, any of that stuff, because they know he's box office. They know that whatever he says is going to get views. And to me, I feel like if CrossFit doesn't have people like Armin Hammer back in the day, which is basically how Hiller is, and I loved Armin for all of his takes, even the ones I didn't agree with, just because he made it fun. So that's kind of what I liken it to.
So are you arguing that they should even hire Hiller?
I think Will Brandstetter made an amazing point on Around the Whiteboard where they said, hey, don't deny him access. Give him a job. Just say, hey, dude, you can come, but this is what you have to specifically do. Basically, like, give him a job for CrossFit. I don't see Hiller turning that down. I think he would welcome that.
Hey, you know what's so interesting about like do a piece on Danny Spiegel at the
whatever.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's my Moby Dick right there.
You know what's interesting about that is you look at ESPN and they have some really risque, wild shows. They have some wild takes. I mean, we know that McAfee, that Pat McAfee guy, he even goes after the executives in the company. He goes after them hard, and his show's huge.
You mean like Josh Grau?
Yeah, like you obliterated Josh Grau and DeCoons.
Oh well.
I mean, here's the deal, dude. Here's the deal. No one watches ESPN to listen to Dan Orlovsky. I'm Dan Orlovsky. No one, you don't even know who that is, but everyone watches ESPN for Pat McAfee, like Taylor Self, or for Stephen A. Smith, like Hiller. That's the whole point. You know Pat McAfee, and you care nothing about those sports.
Yeah, I care nothing about football, but if the clip pops on my feed, I watch it if it's his show.
Right.
Who's Dan Orlovsky?
Exactly.
All right.
Does he have awesome biceps?
I'm not surprised that they didn't give Hiller a pass. I'm not surprised.
Even if you didn't have a credential, or you're still going to do the same thing with a credential or without a credential. So don't act like it's going to be any different. And
you're saying that's not true, Hiller. What about the rope climb thing? Did you make a stink of that? Did you accuse them of fucking up the rope climb and saying that like they meant for there to be 14 and they ran a shitty event and only got 13?
If the workout's written is 21-15-9 and you're doing thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups, and all of a sudden it's 21-15-9 8, because for whatever reason it makes more sense. It just doesn't look right, and it's never happened before.
Did they? I know that they
Has that ever happened before where they write the workout down and it's a different workout? Well, based on something like that, I don't think so.
Basically, it said 2 rope climbs with the other shit for 7 rounds. Was there an asterisk or anything written at the bottom that said except for the last round?
No.
Okay.
I'm not throwing a stink about it either. I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah, I don't think that they fucked up in the execution of the workout. I think they fucked up in the writing of it. What do you think?
Everyone and their brothers like, hey, 14 rope climbs. Is that hard? Is that harder for the women than it is the men? And like 13 isn't 14. That's all.
Yeah. What do you think, JR? Do you think it was a fuck up on the execution of it in the live, or do you think it was a fuck up on the presentation of it on Instagram and on the website.
No, I think what actually happens on the competition floor is the most important. As far as storytelling goes, it was a no-brainer for them to end it the way they did.
I
But
agree with
of course, we would have wanted them to put 7 rounds for time and then in parentheses with an asterisk or whatever, just say the workout will end after the box jump overs in round 7.
Right. Remember, guys, if you order $100 or more at Paper Street Coffee now and you use code word SEVON, you'll not only get a discount, but you'll get entered into 2 free tickets for the CrossFit Games. I forget, they're good tickets. They're like $1,000 each. I think you actually have to spend $117.65 because with the code word SEVON, it'll keep you then to like $101 or something. So if you want to enter that, go over to Paper Street Coffee now. That will be available for the next couple weeks. And they are great seats. They are seats that you won't be able to get any other way.
Today's going to be
A great question. Is JR natty? Andrew?
Yes.
Okay.
He just doesn't eat very much.
Okay. Do you
I eat more than Hiller, 100%, probably more than you and Hiller put together.
You do not eat more than me.
And you're about to, dude. All right, so the way you see me eat this weekend is the way that I eat all the time. I eat no less than 3 pounds of fruit and 2 pounds of red meat every day. So 5 pounds of food a day.
Wow.
100%. But only meat and fruit.
He's also not lying.
Wow.
When we were, where were we? Like, was that the games last year where I walked in and you had like 5 tubs of blueberries? And
Yeah, I'll just eat a dry pound. Like that's what I'll just eat for. Hey, I'm hungry. I'll just eat. 2
Yeah, I
pounds of
do that.
blueberries. Yeah.
I do that. I go in the back. This morning I picked orange and like 10 loquats in the yard. Hey, Jay Chapman, JR, do you eat arse? I think that's ass in English.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Back to the show.
being any different, fucking bring it. Second piece on that.
What was that?
Even if you didn't have a credential, or you're still going to do the same thing with a credential or without a credential. So don't act like it's going to be any different. And if it is going to be any different, fucking bring it. Second piece on that.
Does that mean call him and tell him it's going to be different? Because he can't show you it's going to be different if you can't go.
I'm very confused by that.
Even if you didn't have a credential, or you're still going to do the same thing with a credential or without a credential. So don't act like it's going to be any different. And if it is going to be any different, fucking bring it.
Meaning, so if now that you're from the outside, I don't think this is what he meant, but this is what he said. He's saying, hey, if it's going to be different with you from the outside, then bring it, which would mean you would make all positive stuff.
That's kind of what I thought he was getting at. Yeah. Wow, that'd be.
But I think what he was really meant saying is if you're going to try to ass pound us, go ahead. I dare you, bring it.
Oh.
Because that's how you use the word bring it.
That's how, yeah.
You don't look across the room at your girl and you're like, hey, girl, bring it. Bring it. You know what I mean? It's not like, and she comes over and sits on your face. You say bring it to someone, those are fighting words.
I can see Bryce doing that.
Those aren't love-making words.
You know, Bryce Smith?
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I could see him doing that.
Front tail.
Second piece on that. For all of those questioning why he didn't get one, you talk about Craig Ritchie, you talk about the Buddy Bros, you talk about those other guys. They're critical of us too, not to the degree or to the extent that you are, Hiller. Hiller takes.
Oh shit! He's talking to you, like you're watching the show.
I am. I'm watching the show.
For all of those questioning why he didn't get one, you talk about Craig Ritchie, you talk about the Buddy Bros, you talk about those other guys. They're critical of us too, not to the degree or to the extent that you are, Hiller. Hiller goes after people specifically, even in this video. He's bringing up images of Jay DeCoons and Don Fall and trying to clown them both. And he goes after people very deliberately and very specifically and has a history of it that pretty much crosses lines. It's more than just being a critic. It's frankly being an asshole.
So that goes back to what JR was saying about you being the Stephen A. Smith of CrossFit.
I would say that Josh Grau is a bit of an asshole. I wouldn't say that I did anything to Jada Coons that's out of line. I brought up the fact that he said CrossFit is dangerous, and then everyone else made their claims based off a video where I just laid it out for everybody. And all I ever do is point out stuff that they themselves have posted to the internet for the most part, 99.9% of the time.
Yeah. Do you think it's the fact that he pointed it out, JR, or the fact of how he pointed it out? Like, what if we'd have been like, oh, this is interesting? I mean, he points it out with the insinuation is like, wow, you guys are idiots. You hired a guy who fucking thinks affiliates are dangerous and it's a stupid business model.
I don't know if that makes me an asshole.
I don't know if that makes you an asshole either. It could, if you're an affiliate, it could make you a defender of the realm. They could see you as a defender of the realm.
Maybe someone at CrossFit should say that they're assholes for that and be like, fuck. Yeah, sorry, guys. I think Dave actually did say that. I think Dave on the next show said, yeah, he said that, but I like this guy. Give him a chance. And that's what we've been doing ever since.
They sent out an email basically announcing he hadn't taken his level 1 yet.
They did. But Dave on his weekend review shortly thereafter was like, hey, guys, give him a chance. Give him a chance. And because it's Dave, we listened. Remember?
It's a fair assessment to be frustrated if the guy who's going to be running the affiliates doesn't have his level 1 in the same month that you guys make it, so you have to have a level 2 to open an affiliate. I think it's a pretty fair.
Yeah, don't make me an asshole.
I think it's a pretty fair criticism. I think you can go pretty hard in that realm. JR, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if Dave's anything, he's loyal. So when you get to the point where you're talking at or to or attacking, as I think he puts it, anyone on his team, he's going to defend his team, which I think is admirable, and I wouldn't expect anything less.
Hiller, in that regard, just to show that you're susceptible to the same flaw of loyalty, would you have ass pounded the Joey and Bobby from the Masters Collective if they hadn't have gone after Taylor?
I'm not done pounding Joey and Bobby.
but was that, how much of that was influenced by their calling Taylor second-rate something or another, or acting like
if there's a thief in the neighborhood, I'm not gonna. I don't even know if I would notice them, to be honest. Like if they rob the house down the street, and if they walk by, I might say, "Oh, that's weird," and then I'd like go about my day. But the second they come into my yard, I'm more likely. And if they throw a rock at my house, then all of a sudden I'm like, "Hey, dude, get the fuck out of my lawn! Like, get away from my house." And that's what they did when they came after Taylor. They threw a rock at my house.
Right.
And if they were just dumbasses doing Legends competition stuff, I would have left them alone for the most part. But I can't say that for certainty because they're still in my neighborhood.
And that's what you're saying, JR. You're basically saying that Dave took it as Hiller was throwing a rock at his house, and whatever the reason, he's pissed.
Yeah, I think Dave's a lot less likely to come to the defense of an athlete or someone from the outside space that is the subject of one of Hiller's videos. But when it comes from someone within CrossFit that's an employee of CrossFit, I think he's just a big enough team guy where he's going to defend them regardless of if he agrees with what Andrew's saying or not.
Drake Stevens, Hiller only cares about one thing, getting views. He's a little pussy for that. Yes. Does that make him good for the sport? No. He gets views, and that's all that matters to Hiller. I think you're conflating issues. I think Drake, what you're doing there is you're switching the subject. I think that's a different subject.
But he's also correct for the most part. Because,
yeah, I think that's a different it's too broad of a statement. No one's going to do anything. The only person who puts out shows that no one watches and putting out shows is Bryce Smith. Like, of course, Hiller wants views, but what are you? There's like you're trying to make some implication there that that's bad, and it's like, well, why else would you go?
Drake, you should continue commenting. What do you mean by that?
Do you think
why would anyone make anything for no reason?
Yeah.
Do you think he would be? Do you think he would be as firm on that take if all the stuff Hiller made was positive, and it was always
I was if everything I made was all positive?
It would always be positive.
That's what Craig Ritchie does. Like when I watch, when I watch Craig Ritchie stuff, JR, I just feel like I'm eating cotton candy. Like I watch it and maybe I enjoy it when I'm watching it, and then afterwards I feel like I wasted 20 minutes and like I got nothing from it, and my teeth are rotting out of my fucking head. Like I just don't. But he's definitely doing it for views. Like he's trying to make everyone happy. I don't think Hiller's. When you say he's trying to just do it just for views, I mean Craig Ritchie's account is 10 times as big as Hiller's. Like I don't know. I don't.
That's because he started a decade ago, and he got to come up with the heyday of CrossFit.
But he still gets 50,000 views a video, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand what people are getting from it. But I don't understand what probably the world sells a shitload of M&Ms, and I don't know what people are getting from that either. What about this, Lynn? No offense. I've never heard Hiller mention anything positive, and I've watched a lot.
What have you heard that I've mentioned negative?
Oh, was the Haley Adams piece positive? Was the Rich Froning piece positive? Was the Tyson Bagent piece positive?
I'm assuming she's looking for inadvertent like positivity stuff. Like, oh, good job. Here's a star. I mean, that really ain't my style.
Like make a whole video on how great the
JR
programming is?
about how Hopper will be in the gym and he'll do his row. And he'll like do some crazy row and he'll walk over and he'll go, hey, dude, you were supposed to do this. What are you doing a PR 2K row for? Remember that story, JR? Like, so it's just, all right, you did good. You're supposed to do good, but you're like also not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Hiller,
there.
Any chance you're losing Leahy's coach's pass?
Oh, this is true. Thank you, CrossFit. Oh, no, I won't be using Leahy's coach's pass. That's going to go to his roommate, Colin.
Okay. What did CrossFit say?
I said that the entire semis programming was good, and I have an entire video on it.
Oh.
And
shit.
I also said Bosman did something good within that semifinal video, but it's not the one he watched.
A parody on positivity video would be hilarious. That's true. Clydesdale Media, Scott Schweitzer, the last 10 minutes with Saxon was so inspiring. Who cares? Positive, negative. He tells a story.
And no one would see that if it weren't for the other stuff.
Brian Adamson, Hiller has been extremely, look at that smile. Jesus.
Big ass smile.
Hiller has been extremely positive. Dude has done a day in the day with Leahy, has gone to Mayhem to showcase the CrossFit affiliate space, and has gotten Haley Adams to share her story as well.
I can't afford to do that. I don't have the access to do that. I don't have the audience to watch it if I don't make the videos I make.
But listen, you don't wake up in the morning and like, hey, I'm going to make a negative video.
I ask what people want to talk about.
Okay.
And what they want to see, which makes that Derek comment correct from earlier.
And so,
but you could say that about, I mean, I'm not going to do the Dave Castro weekend review if it gets 6 views. I'm not going to ask you guys to come on it if it gets 6 views.
I think you understand that as a YouTuber, though.
In that environment where we control the sport, a history of it that pretty much crosses lines. It's more than just being a critic. It's frankly being an asshole. And so in that environment where we control the sport, we control the media access. Why would we give him access to be able to be in a privilege zone where media has access to then come after individuals, judges, people working the event with privileged access? There's no fucking way we're going to give it to him. That's why he didn't get it. And guess what? He also won't get a media pass for the games. The fact that anyone's surprised by this is baffling to me. Critics are fine. I like his criticism. I like Hiller. I like what he's about. I like him as a person, but let's not act like he's like you can behave like that towards us or be like that towards us and get special access. It's just not going to happen.
Thoughts on that, JR?
Yeah, he really zigged when I thought he was going to zag there after he was saying that it really caught me off guard. I mean, it's cool that he said it, and I do believe him.
I hear what Rambler's saying.
I do believe that he likes Hiller as a person. The thing I'm trying to separate, and maybe there isn't a line that you can draw, is when you got access last year, were there any issues? Did you do anything specifically that you were told not to do that would start to get them thinking, hey, maybe we made a mistake by letting him help out in the behind the scenes. We're not going to do that again. Or do you think it's all just what's transpired in the last year?
Day one, I walked up to, what's his name, Eubanks. And I asked him like what was going on and if they had a backup plan for the bikes. And he made that claim that bikes don't break, athletes break them. And from what I understand, that was the only bad thing that could have happened. But that's also something I could have done without a media pass. And it's something that because I had a media pass and I heard that that wasn't probably the best way to go about using my credentials, which I didn't need to make that post, that I should probably lay back. And you know what? I did because I was playing nice because I had a media pass.
When you approach someone like that, are you supposed to ask them if it's okay if you ask them a question on camera? Or if you have a media credential, is it just understood that your camera's always on? I've always wondered this.
It's not explicitly stated in the agreement you sign.
If you're at the CrossFit Games, you should expect, if you work there, if you don't work there, if you're an athlete, if you're a fan, you should expect to have a camera put in your face. It is a media fucking event. And especially if you're back behind, like if you're not where the audience is, you should expect for cameras to be everywhere. And here's the thing. They have places where you're not allowed to film. They have this whole section where I think the equipment's being stored, where they don't let you go. They don't even let you get close to there because they're hiding something. And what are they hiding? Surprise events that might come up or pieces of equipment they don't want anyone to see. And they want it to be
thanks to the rest of the weekend.
A cool surprise. If it's crazy to think that he's not allowed to report on the fact that, here's the thing. It's questionable on whether, this is just my opinion. It's questionable whether Hiller should have even spoke to Eubanks because obviously on the internet they had some run-ins, right? So it's questionable whether he should have spoke to him or not. But once he spoke to him and Eubanks says something is fucking completely ridiculous, as bikes don't break, people break them, then it's like, you can report that. That's not, I mean, he's a senior person in the company. His statements matter.
And also, if he meant it, why didn't he just stick to it? Like, why is it bad?
Then why personally attack people like Dawn Fall, the awesome marketing lady who joined, Brian Friend? What does that?
Awesome marketing lady? I don't believe. Have I?
No, I don't even know who she's talking. I don't even know who she's talking
follow
about.
Jenna Hookah.
Oh,
yeah, she seems all right. I just think that the first thing she ever did is she claimed that there's less affiliates than ever.
What are we supposed to report on?
Brian Friend, that was great. I had a good time with Brian Friend.
Yeah, what are you? Brian's basically a public figure in the space, and if someone makes a guess of a time that's ridiculous, I mean, Brian got off easy compared to what we do to John Young. Brian got off so easy. Don Fall got off so easy compared to what we do to John Young. Remember that thing? There were fucking 500 comments in here when John Young thought that there was going to be a score tally of 270.
300.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's what we report on. We live in an echo chamber, and we're just fucking hanging out in here reporting. Everything is free game to report on. Everything. I believe that's how I operate.
Hey, for the record, Vindicate. He said something here. One of Hiller's biggest attributes is that he will talk to you in the videos and approach you in person. He doesn't hide behind a camera keyboard. I like being in front of people, and I like having that little thing about, and then I got to like go right through it and go talk to the person. And I've approached people whose videos all of you guys have watched, and they won't have a sentence with you. They won't even look you in the eye as you talk to them, let alone do something on camera, because they're more worried about how they appear on the internet. And usually I'll just let those people go.
Yeah, just so you know, all those people there avoid us like
people look bad.
All those people there avoid us like the plague. We do not avoid them. We are very pleasant, personable, real. So many of those people out there avoid us like the plague. They can't take any of it. Geez Louise said something. Castro is going to end up saying, fuck it. No one gets a pass.
Wouldn't that be some shit? I mean, at this rate, I could see CrossFit doing that.
No, I'm getting a pass. I'm getting all the. I'm going to get the best access.
No. Not you.
I'm getting the best access I've ever gotten. Subscribe now.
Now, there's a couple other points from that video that I want to highlight. He said this line, and I wrote it down so I can quote it correctly. Tell me something good that is happening in CrossFit. I would have posted it if it was there. Well, there's a lot of good that's been done over the last year. I don't know if you've covered any of it. If you have, why don't you make a video or a reel or something educating me on when we do something well, that you cover it with praise and fair coverage. I don't believe that you have, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't consume enough of your content to know if you have or have not done that. So at this point, I'm putting on you. Make a reel, make a highlight reel of all the good things you've said about not CrossFit the methodology, not CrossFit the community, but CrossFit HQ. And if you can't find one fucking thing of you talking good about something HQ's done, well, I know just how slanted and biased your coverage is from that point on. So prove me wrong. Show me where you have. And I could totally be wrong. You might always say good things about some of the things we do. But since I don't consume your content on a regular basis, and what I only hear about is the negative shit you say, I'm only going to slant towards that direction.
He only hears about the negative shit. Why is that? Maybe because it's the most popular. Maybe because he has people only telling him about the bad stuff.
Is he challenging him? Is that manipulative, JR? Is he challenging Hiller?
No, I don't think so. And I know a lot of times people say that there's always a reason. Dave's very impeccable with his word. There's always. I don't think that's the case here. I think he means it. He's talking with a lot of passion right now.
Oh, how about this video where I fuck up Sporty Beth for her saying the CrossFit community sucks, basically telling her she doesn't know what in the hell she's talking about.
Well, yeah, she just doesn't have the engagement you do. You're the biggest voice in the space, and so it only matters what you say.
Mm-hmm.
There was something in here. Sevon looks uncomfortable. If Hiller is good for CrossFit, then Dave engaging Hiller is good for CrossFit.
Bingo.
Wasn't there a quote when Dave first came back, something along the lines of, I kind of wish that I was around when Hiller first started. I would have liked to tussle with him a little bit and go back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Someone wrote that in the comments. I wish I would have pulled that up. Someone wrote, yeah, when Dave got fired, he says if he was around, he would like to tussle with Hiller. So here we go.
Hey,
And
Dave.
let's be clear. I don't think he dislikes this right now. I think he loves it.
Who, Dave?
Yeah.
I mean,
for
he's
sure.
level 100 compared to last week.
Dave knows that I am the one who let all of the workouts go to the public, correct?
I have to assume.
Would that not be a good thing, considering that everyone else had them anyway?
Yeah, you could say that. And because you also did report it to someone at HQ before you did that. I think a lot of people don't know that.
Ay caramba.
TDC is Sevi after an orgy that Nick turned up to. Nick's this guy who was like always like trying to pound the chicks I was trying to pound in college. Okay, here we go.
Then you said this line. You're talking about Greg. Something they try to do is they try to replicate him with the Nicole Carrolls of the world, and she can't do it. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Greg cannot be replicated. He is one of a kind. He's a genius, and what he created and how he articulates the methodology and everything around fitness and concepts beyond fitness is brilliant, and no one can ever replicate him. But to try to plant this seed or this notion that CrossFit HQ is trying to replicate or replace him is completely wrong. It's a joke. I'm at the highest levels of our meetings with all of our leadership and people like Nicole. Nicole has no desire to try to emulate or replicate or be like Greg. No one's ever said, damn, we need to replicate Greg. Let's put Nicole out there. Let's do this. So that line, that you would say that or try to plant it. You can say it, that's fine, but that you're trying to say it as if it's fact, because people hear that and they go, oh yeah, he's right. They are trying to replace Greg with Nicole. That's ridiculous. That's not happening. And then the final thing you said.
Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that they're trying. Absolutely not. Did I not say that they're trying to replace Greg with Nicole? I said that they are portraying Nicole in a similar fashion to the way Greg used to be presented on the videos posted on CrossFit's page. And it does not hit, and it doesn't hit home the same way because she is not Greg and there is no other Greg.
Since Greg left, we are in a 4-year drought of messaging from HQ. We are just in a fucking 4-year fucking drought. And I would argue that the best messaging in regards to what CrossFit is and what it isn't has come from Hiller Fit. I think it's fucking just cut and dry.
That's why people will hear what I say is the truth, and that's their fault.
Because you have no one else in the space who's doing the messaging for what reps are, what reps aren't, what CrossFit is, what diet is.
It's just
all of those things.
Same as it's just what it's always been. It's regurgitated. That's all I do. That's how people already know.
Coach Moose, critics of Hiller fail to realize the distinct difference between the personality attacking on one hand and the analyzing to inform on the other hand. Hiller does the latter. Yeah, that is also interesting too. I think people do conflate the fact of your intonations and your passion, and you could even say aggression, I don't care, with the fact that your messaging. You think that's true, JR?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Listen, look at this theory. Sevon, TDC, and Greg all conspiring to destroy CrossFit.
Is that Greg with a neck pillow on an airplane? What is that?
Anyone who's saying sport doesn't need a critic hasn't listened to the Real Sports Radio or podcast. Every post game is critical of NFL, NBA, NHL. People are too emotionally protective of CrossFit. I mean, I think it shows that. Oh, imagine Hiller covering Haley through the games or any other athlete. It would be amazing. Big loss for CrossFit. Yeah, I agree.
I'll be following Bill around this weekend.
What do you think? What do you think is the primary reason? Do you think it's money? Do you think it's earnings where anyone can go on and say Kevin Durant's a coward for joining the Warriors? And that's like, it was the biggest coward move ever with someone that's in the top 25 of players all time. Like, do you think they just write it off as, oh, who cares? He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Who cares if a bunch of people say he's a coward? Like, do you think that's what they write it off as? Like, if the professional athletes in CrossFit were all millionaires and Hiller was making his videos, do you think people would just be like, well, who cares? People can be critical of them. They're millionaires. They get paid to dribble a basketball. Like, do you think they get paid to do thrusters? Do you think that's the mindset and that's where the difference is? That they play a game, and they do a sport that we can all relate to because we all play flag football in the same way that professionals play professional football. And there's this weird disconnect. Well, those people are in my gym and I know those people, but other professional athletes are untouchable. You can't talk to them on Instagram. You can't touch them on the court. You can't work out next to them. Do you think it's more the relatability factor that makes them more protective or the financial factor?
I think at the end of I think it's all finances. I think that all those dudes who are ripped on in the sports, I think they're still butthurt too. I think they get butthurt just as much as.
Sure, but the fans don't come to their defense in the same way, is what I'm saying. You don't see as often.
I don't know. Tyson Bagent made that post recently, and he used the word Chirac to describe Chicago, and the fans went back and forth in there. Half were, I'd say 80% were defending him, 20% were attacking him.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
That's completely ridiculous, and I'm going to write this, or I did write this down. You're talking about Don now. You talk about him. He was a SEAL in the Marines and moved over to the corporate sphere. That was the line you had. A simple Google search, Andrew, would tell you that the Marine Corps does not have SEALs. Don Fall was not a SEAL. And now all of that last one's kind of funny, but what's interesting, this is the only video I've watched. I saw multiple things you've said, and I was like, man, that is so factually incorrect and just blown out of proportion or
he was Marine Recon, which I've been told is the special forces of the Marines. So I personally don't think it's off by that much, but I wasn't in the military, so I don't know how sensitive.
I would admittedly say that as I said that and rewatched it while editing it, I'm like, damn, I don't know if they're the same thing, but they both have to do with water, right? So they have to be the same thing. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll leave it in there.
Yeah, for me, it's whether you're driving a Ferrari or Lamborghini.
I could see why he'd be pissed about it, though, as he was a SEAL, and it's something he holds very close to him. But, yeah, he's right. I didn't know that.
Oh, and let me even back up. You actually go after Brian Friend for saying something about him time, 3 minutes on a workout that should take 5 minutes, and how, you rip on him for that. But then look, you say stupid shit like a SEAL in the Marines. A simple Google search would have educated you on the fact that there are no SEALs in the Marines. Anyway, so looking forward to your response.
Dave.
Okay, well, then they're both fair.
Yeah.
But I think they're both fair. But
yeah,
Brian,
I did just make a follow-up post before Dave made this video about how Brian said he was wrong. Did you see that? Instagram, I posted that. It was a reel towards the back. Yeah. It's a little longer, so people may have lost it, but towards the back end of it, Brian goes, yeah, this is something Hiller's good at. And I was wrong.
And it's okay to be critical. It's okay for him to be critical that you miscategorize someone for what their fucking position was in the military. Although it's not relevant to what you're saying. You were referencing the fact that he was in the military, just as an example of where his leadership comes from. So I don't think it matters whether he was a SEAL or Marine Con in the context you used it. It does matter that it is funny, and it does matter that Brian is a top analyst in the space, and that he said something that was just absolutely impossible.
I wonder if he'll talk about the use of the word consensus that Don used and not skip over that to go to the SEAL differentiation there. I will.
Sarah Cox got a box at the game. She says, don't worry, Hiller, you can sit with me. By the way, that was fascinating. That we were told that there were no boxes, so I emailed the venue directly. And Sarah got a box, which is kind of cool. JR, you could probably squeeze in there for a minute too. Wear a tank top.
I was just thinking about having Sarah on Shut Up and Scribble for our segment.
Interesting.
Presented by CA Peptides. It's gonna be awesome.
Ooh, I like it.
Cool.
Response to all of this, but don't play the victim for not getting a press credential, because it's an unbecoming look on you, Andrew. All right, let's go to comments.
I believe I made a post that says, "I didn't get one and I don't care."
Will you make a response to any of this?
I've already thought about going through all my videos and just super cutting all the good shit. You know, like that scene in the movie where the person falls off a cliff and they see their life flash before their eyes, and it'll just be like, oh, here's all the good shit.
It's funny too that he put rules around what the good shit could be about. It could only be about HQ. I don't think that's fair.
Oh, he did say that. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think that's fair.
Well, dude, I don't want to put that pressure on you. I'm like, you go and name some good stuff HQ's done recently. What they've done is they took back the semifinals, but it was like 2 years ago.
They sent Chase to France to cover Friday.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But they fucked it all up by only having one camera. What a fucking disaster that was. What a joke. JR, I'll pass it on to you. What something good HQ has done?
Just anything? Like, what do you like? It's not for sports.
Yeah, just anything. Just anything. What's something good you think HQ has done?
Just from a very simple affiliate owner standpoint, I get emails now when someone is interested in joining my gym. So like, I guess if they either click on find a gym in my area, and maybe just them clicking on that CrossFit Crash hyperlink or whatever, like I've gotten multiple emails in the last month that have said the person's name, their contact number, is interested in joining your gym. Basically a lead.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
that's
really cool.
Awesome.
Have you converted any of them?
The two I've reached back out to, I haven't heard responses back from, but yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Cool.
All right.
Looking forward to your response to all of this, but don't play the victim for not getting a press credential, because it's an unbecoming look on you, Andrew. All right, let's go into comments.
Wow, he's really talking to you.
Hi, Dave. I just graduated nursing school and I'm interested in coming on the medical team at the games next year. Can't find anything on the CrossFit site. How would you go about that process? Thanks for all you do. Email me and I'll link you up with the media team the volunteer team who can see if there's a spot. We have a lot of people who volunteer, and so the spots are super competitive.
That was a Freudian slip, because it really is the people on the media team who fucking run everything. So anyone who thinks that anyone's making any decisions there except the media team, you're out of your mind.
At Marvis Dutch, ahoy, Dave. Calling for your help to settle a debate that's been going on in our community every last week of May for at least a decade, in an unpartitioned Murph, the legit way to do it, despite CrossFit's clear RX description that starts with 4 time and ends with partition pull-ups, push-ups, squats as needed. Hold on. I know Murph is more about the workout, just the workout itself, and our friendly debate shouldn't take away from the significance of this classic hero WOD, but curious to hear your thoughts. Thanks. Keep up all the good work. Hold on. Calling for you to settle a debate that's been going on in our community every last week of May. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. A debate going on in our community every last week of May for at least a decade. Okay. Put that aside. Is an unpartitioned Murph the legit way to do it, despite CrossFit's clear description that starts with 4 time and ends with partition pull-ups, push-ups, and squats as needed? So you can do it any way you want. Some people do it 100, 200, 300, and then others partition it. The thing is just whatever you guys go in, whatever perspective you go into it with, as a gym or as your local community, you guys decide and set the standards. We're not going to partition this time, or maybe we are going to partition. So that's on the people doing it.
Do you guys agree with that? Like, I've never done it with a weight vest. I've done it partitioned and unpartitioned, but I've never done it with a weight vest. So does that mean I've never done Murph?
I'm going to let JR take this.
There are people that feel very strongly that at its highest level, that there are levels to everything. And at its highest level, when you perform Murph, you wear a vest, you do a mile run, then 100, 200, 300, then a mile. However, the first time it was ever posted to main site, it says clearly partition is desired. That being said, to say that you did Murph, as long as you do all the repetitions and you do them all to standard and you wear a vest and you run 2 miles, what you do in the middle is up to you.
So partitioning is okay, but you got to wear the vest.
Correct. If you want to say you did Murph,
Right.
If you want to say I did Murph or the
Right.
Murph,
or body armor,
which was what it was originally called. However, the whole levels thing, like what I will recommend people do is starting from much more modified than this. I will say, hey, do 20 rounds of 5, 10, 15, do 20 rounds of Cindy. And then I will say like, hey, why don't you do 10 rounds of 10, 20, 30 this year? And then I will say, hey, maybe you do what they did at the games the second year and you do 5 rounds of 20, 40, 60. And then I will say, hey, I think it's time. Take on those big chunks, 100, 200, 300. So I think at its highest form, it's unpartitioned with a vest straight through.
Hey, JR, what level is this that Heidi uses, where she wears the vest and uses 3 bands for the pull-ups?
This is awesome. this is an awesome comment because when we've been doing our Murph prep, we did do a vested version last week, and I said, hey, if you want to wear a vest for the runs and then take it off for, I think it was pull-ups, burpees, and air squats, that's cool. If you want to just wear the vest for the gymnastics, that's cool. But if you wear a vest and you do ring rows or banded pull-ups, I'm going to make fun of you. That's what I told them. And everyone kind of realized what I was saying, right? It was like, hey, if you're not able to do pull-ups, it was strict pull-ups too. If you're not able to do strict pull-ups, that's fine. Just kip them with a vest or take the vest off and do something strict.
I did some Murph shit today.
Sounds like a good gym, JR.
Hell yeah.
At James Mitchell 6211, you're doing a great job, Dave. Thank you. I appreciate the praise. Don't often get that. At Kevin Rachel 2552, Dave, tried to send you on a note on Insta, but seems you blocked it. My neurosurgeon wants to learn more about the CrossFit methodology. Should I connect him to Michelle Latendre? She's still on medical staff. I'm from Canada. Thanks. I think that the note, try to send him a note on Instagram, but seems you blocked it, is a joke. I get a lot of notes on Instagram. Send me an email and I'll follow up there. At Stephen Dix 8042, I apologize for the tone of my comment last week. It was out of pure frustration. I don't remember what his comment was, but apology accepted. Thank you. At Josh Roberts 7283, hey Dave, do you think we'll see a test like max distance softball throw at the games again? Possibly something from a track and field event like shot put, discus, javelin, or max vertical or horizontal jump. For teams, a relay race on the track or in the pool, medley. Maybe logistically this doesn't make sense. Curious to know what your thoughts are. Max distance throw with the softball. So there were very few events Greg came in and said, hey, let's do this at the games. I can think of 2 or 3 throughout the history of the games that he said, let's do one specific thing. That year at the games, he said, hey, I want to see a softball throw. And actually the original intent was to do a softball throw with your strong arm and your weak arm. And we decided, Tony Budding and I discussed it, and we decided to just do the strong arm because the strong arm was going to be interesting enough as is. So we did not include.
How interesting that he used to have Tony Budding, right?
Now he's got Bosman.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What's interesting about it?
Him and Tony were very close.
The interactions, though, that you got on the behind the scenes from the earlier years with Tony and Dave are so intense, dude. Are so intense.
Well, Dave didn't enjoy him, but he always engaged, but he still engaged Tony. I think he valued Tony's perspective. I just don't think he liked engaging with Tony, but he really valued Tony's perspective. And it was basically, I mean, Tony had ideas about everything, right? I mean, he was that guy. And they worked so fucking closely together. They even had a code. They had Dave's team had a code that, like, if Tony was overwhelming Dave or just bugging Dave, Dave would do something like, get me a coffee. And that meant they were all going to try to ditch Tony. There was like some secret code for that. I remember. I can't remember what it was. What?
Yeah, safe word.
Yeah, exactly. But but Dave always, like, you know, like right there, like he gave Tony credit, you know.
The weak arm. And if you saw people like Jason Kalipa and Chris Spieler throwing a baseball, thank God we didn't have them throw with their off arm. So anyway, will we see it again? I don't know. Probably not. Some of the other movements like shot put, discus, javelin, the thing about those 3 is they are so, like, a softball is very technique dependent, but pretty much everybody's thrown a softball at some point in their life. Something like a shot put, discus, or javelin are really technique dependent. And if you've at all thrown any of those or have any training in them, you're at a massive advantage. Plus the shot put too, and the discus, I imagine, because they're heavier and they are so technique dependent, you could probably easily tweak something if you don't do it the right way. Javelin, that's interesting. I mean, same thing, technique dependent. What if they throw it off the wrong direction? Highly dangerous. Max vertical or horizontal jump. We've done something with jumping before. We had it as a little isolated test. Don't know if you'll see it. Relays, those are good. I think you can definitely see a relay again in the games, in the track or in the pool. I think relays, especially for the team, obviously only for the teams, are really exciting. So good ideas. At Houston, Texas.
What do you think, Hiller, throwing objects?
Would be fantastic.
You do like it?
Oh, yeah. I really like the idea of the relay in a pool. That'd be very cool. I mean, teams are completely unwatchable at this point, but that'd be cool to see. I mean, and I say that because I came from a swimming background, but throwing things is up there with some sort of a sumo wrestling thing that I always thought would be cool, like a bracketed sumo wrestling, where all you do is you put pads on them and you tell them to push each other out of the circle, and then you can place people based off that even.
What do you think about throwing, JR?
I think it's right there with weightlifting on the same level of the pyramid. Now, that is a hierarchy of fitness, and that's a whole podcast on whether or not the hierarchy of fitness was meant to pertain to sport as well. So when you're testing the CrossFit Games, are you supposed to be testing metabolic conditioning more than you test gymnastics, more than you test weightlifting and throwing? Because on the pyramid, one is closer to the base and the other is closer to the peak. So that's a whole other conversation. They did the med ball DHT toss. And I mean, that a lot of people were like, yeah, I mean, it's a explosive sit up to throwing an object. Like I'd be interested to know if more people like that versus the softball toss. They were both a little bit. I wonder if that's one of the other ones Dave was talking about, Greg having a big hand in. If you go back and look at the main site, like in Greg's original gym, they would do med ball GHD sit up to wall ball toss. So like they would do the med ball GHD, and then at the top they would throw up to a target, catch it, go back down, touch the floor, catch it, go back down, touch the floor. And I mean, that was back in the days of the experimentation and stuff too. So I of course, when I do those deep dives and I try to find things from the past, there's an awesome video that we should pull up from San Francisco CrossFit's YouTube of Adrian Bosman doing throwing grace. So they do a clean and jerk and then throw the barbell as far as they can in a sand pit, and they keep doing it back and forth. Like, it's awesome. It's like the peak of just like, hey, let's just go out into a parking lot and let's just see what happens.
Is it?
Should pull it up. It is so cool. Yes. I think that's Adrian on the left.
Man.
Look at the Golden Gate Bridge right there. What a crazy gym that was. Throwing grace. Oh, the original gym. Talk about an unsafe setup.
That's just, I don't know, man. That's just stuff like that's cool. I don't know. It's probably just because it's.
This gym looks pretty. Oh, wait. The rack even fell. Come on.
Oh, did it?
Oh, I think he dumps the pot.
Oh my God.
It looks like Justin Medeiros' gym a bit. Not a lot, but a bit.
Woo. All right, throwing guys. I'm not a fan of the softball throw, and I agree. Someone said if they are going to have it, I think they should give people a heads up.
But you're the best thrower in the world.
I know, but still, what am I going to do?
You're not biased? All right.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Okay, here we go.
94. I signed up for the Service Cup.
By the way, great explanation of the distinction between sport and fitness, chair.
How it's currently structured. Does CrossFit plan to evolve it to a more in-person event? Also adding a $5 to $10 option to check out, donate to a service-related charity would really help certain communities. So the Service Cup is going on right now, or I'm sorry, the signups are going on right now. If you want to participate, it's still open, so definitely check it out. Go to our site and sign up. I will be competing in it, and a number of other service-related folks from our community are also competing in it. And we have cool shirts that you can buy related to the occupation that you're competing in. So I'm competing in veteran category. And so they have a shirt for mill and veteran. That's pretty cool. We're partnered with Rogue and Beyond Whiteboard on this one.
Okay. So here, you ready?
Absolutely.
I'm running CrossFit HQ. I have no fucking media department. I reach out to Andrew Hiller, Sevan Matosian, Craig Ritchie, Scott Schweitzer, the Buttery Bros. I put together a plan, Coffee Pods and Wads, and I say, hey guys, just so you know, and I do this regularly, it would really help us if Sevon, you interviewed this guy. He was in the service and he's entering the service game. Here's his name. Here's his phone number. If you don't like him, we have this woman, right? Or we have this guy with no legs. Andrew, there's a guy, we know you live in Chicago. There's this guy there. He's entering the service games. He won it last year. He's near you. We'd love it if you did a piece on him. We'll help when you put it on your YouTube channel. We'll help promote it. Pedro, what about doing around the whiteboard with just 3 service members to promote the service game? How like slam dunk. Instead, we don't know fucking shit. Why not go up on Shut Up and Scribble or Get With the Programming and do a whole show on the programming for the service games? Why not call Taylor? Why doesn't Dave belong to Taylor and JR? Who the fuck knows? That's what I'm fucking talking about. You don't want us to be fucking critical of fucking HQ?
Well, I know that Dave's talked about him a couple weeks in a row, but I still don't know what it is. Rogue's hosting it, isn't it? Aren't they? At which rate is an even HQ? Do I have that right?
Sevon, we saw that you did a live stream with the fucking quarterfinals. We saw it was fucking huge. If we paid to send the 3 guys there for the service games to JR's gym, would you do it for us? Any like there, it's yeah. Sorry, dude. Sorry. I don't know what to say. It's not fucking rocket science. It's not fucking rocket science. I'll push back on Dave with this here. How about providing outside media with some fucking leadership? And actually, you know what's not fair? I guess I shouldn't put this on Dave. This is the only leadership outside media gets right here. Here it is. From Dave, this interaction. I bet you that they don't even know it. No one there even knows what it means to give outside media leadership.
Do you guys remember this fucking video?
Do you guys feel me on that? Do you guys hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think do you think it's plausible? JR, you don't like it?
I wish it would happen. I wish tomorrow you said, hey, dude, I got a call. They want us to do this occupational thing.
Yeah.
It was fantastically laid out.
It's like, dude, we're a massive resource for you. Look at the people, dear HQ. Look at the only leadership we receive is from fucking Dave through these fucking weekly posts. And look at all the resources you have out there. I don't even think that they know what leadership is. That's why they wouldn't know how to lead us anyway. Like they're confused on what leadership is. Leadership is about getting people to do shit that you fucking want them to do without them feel like they're fucking being told what the fuck to do. Inspiring people to get them to do what you need to get done. I can't understand why HQ is not supporting you guys. The amount of interest you're generating in the CrossFit is extraordinary. Yeah, I mean, I can't get my dick any further.
Well, you should actually say the opposite, Paul. They are pushing away.
Yeah, exactly.
At least one, which is fine. Again, I don't care.
Yeah, use the resource. I'm not touching that potato after it's been in your rectum, Howie. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Sevon, why would they ask you guys to do it if you can do it all on your own? You just gave them a slam dunk of an idea which you could pull off within your ecosystem. Oh, you mean like, why don't I just do it? Because all of us have a fucking 1,000 things on our plate. Like we don't have like this linear thing of ideas that we want to do. It's just this giant funnel and stuff's trying to force its way. Small teams. Remember, we're small teams.
For example, this is what remember this video.
Yeah. Amazing.
57 times CrossFit fucked up the supercut.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. All right. We're almost.
I'm gonna respond. I'm just gonna repost that video to the top of my timeline. That's gonna be my response to Dave's video.
Yeah, small team family show. Thank you, Heidi. Okay, here we go.
$10 option at checkout to donate to a service-related charity. That's a good idea. We'll definitely look at that and see if we can do it in the future. But anyways, if you are interested, check out the service guide. David Wide, David W-I-E-D. Walking people is kind of gay.
What did he say?
Do it in the future. But anyways, if you are interested, check out the service guide. David Wied, David W-I-E-D, blocking people is kind of gay. I don't
am
think
gay.
so.
I am gay. Hey, can you get an AI for him and have him respond, I am gay?
I can.
That would be awesome.
I block people because I don't want to deal with seeing their negativity or disrespect on my channel. And it is my choice to block anyone I want on my page. And so if you say something fucking stupid, you're probably going to get blocked if I see it. The other fact is on my big account, the Dave Castro account, especially when there's like more than 20 accounts, especially as soon as the comments really start filling, I don't even look at the comments that much. The comments were a little odd this week. Northern Lights.
I don't think blocking people is, I think by David saying gay, I think he's using it in the slang term of, I don't think he means it actually means you suck cock. But
no, I think that's what he meant.
Oh, okay.
I think he was saying that's yeah.
Oh, so then Dave should have just answered, what's wrong with being gay?
He should have.
All right.
Oh, look.
Oh, David Weed. All right.
Fact, I think he was talking about last week's comments. I addressed that. I was a little off last week. Maybe it was the Northern Lights for me too. And then Joshua Patterson. I just watched the Jocko podcast about a year ago. Good stuff. I've never watched a Jocko video before, but know of him. I only watched because you were on it. You're a good person, Dave. I'm a fan of yours for a long time. Thank you. Thanks for your service and your humility. This week there's last week I was in, so I didn't go to Europe.
Lots of positive comments towards Dave this week.
Specifically chosen, hand-picked comments.
Regional or semifinal, I mean, because I was in Fort Bragg, had a number of meetings with the general and some of the people we're working with, looking at, doing more with the Army. So that took priority this week or last week. Good trip out there. Visited a lot of affiliates in Raleigh, visited some affiliates in Southern Pines and Whispering Pines, had a really good time, and in Fayetteville. So while I was also there, I got to drop into a number of gyms, not to work out, but just to say hello and show support. Then I also, from that, flew back, and this weekend at the ranch.
He did tell me, I did speak with him on the phone, and he said he was bummed he wasn't going to France, which kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, really? You want to go there? He goes, yeah, I want to go there. I want to support Dave Chafee. I want to support the event. It's a good event. And I go, well, then go, because I have to do Army shit.
Is it Dave?
What?
The Dave or Dan Chafee?
Oh, Daniel Chafee.
Drove by with her family randomly. She was doing workout just to say hello and show support. Then I also, from that, flew back, and this weekend at the ranch, Bailey Rail drove by with her family randomly. She was doing a West Coast trip, caught me in the afternoon on Saturday afternoon. We chatted, and then I invited her to come back the next day and do a hike and workout. So she and her family came back, had a great time with them. Really good people. She's doing something really cool. She's not competing this year, and she's dropping into a bunch of boxes and filming it and coaching and just being part of the community. So it's neat to see a high-level athlete like her engaging with and getting involved with the community. So
I don't know if I agree with that, but this picture he took of Bailey Rail is the best fucking picture I've ever seen of her. This picture is fucking wild. Look at this picture. That's good, huh?
Look at
what?
That. That's a huge gun.
It's fucking awesome. What an amazing photo. 5 times CrossFit Games athlete Bailey Rail stopped by CrossFit Ranch today. We went for a ruck, did a workout together. I won the first round, and she shot my. I won the first round, and she shot my Voodoo Gunworks 22 precision rifle. I think Avi shot that too. She did great. Was drilling targets. It was a pleasure hosting her family at the ranch. So I was on the phone with him, and she just rolled up. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" JR, would you just ever roll up to the ranch unannounced?
No, I was just thinking I would not have the balls to do that, but I think it's so cool that Dave was just like, yeah, I told him to come back the next day for a workout. Like that's cool.
Yeah, crazy cool. I wish she was competing.
Kudos to Bailey. Great family, great support network there, and I had a really good time hanging out with them. And then, sorry, getting a call.
By the way, that's probably me. By the way, TDC Hunts, you will not have that Instagram account ever offered to you in your feed unless you follow him. Dave's been like completely shadow banned that account. So if you want to see that account and cool stuff like that, you got to follow TDC Hunts.
This week, so Carson is going down. If you guys haven't got tickets yet, grab tickets and head down to LA to see the semifinal. I will be there for at least a day, maybe a day and a half, and I'm excited to get down there and see the event. Also coming up is Murph, so the Murph Challenge. If you guys haven't signed up for that or gone to their site and registered as an affiliate or engaged or donated, definitely hit them up, hit up the Murph Challenge website. We are partnered with them this year, so that's an exciting relationship.
Friday night, I will try to organize a live podcast from our palatial fucking home, our mega home, with me, JR, Hiller, Taylor, and others, Souza, and Dave Castro, and the Dave Castro. So Friday night, you guys keep your fingers crossed. I think there's a 51% chance likeliness of it. I've already asked him to come by, but that'll be fun to see JR and Dave in the same room together. Some people think they're the same person.
Yeah, that looks kind of similar.
That's why we never see Dave's arms.
That's what I was going to say.
That I'm really proud of and happy that we are developing and leaning into for the future. Okay, that's it. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments or comment in the comment section, and I will.
Okay, let's look at the comments really quick. We don't normally do this, but let's just see. Hey, first of all, JR, what did you think? We knew that he was going to go off about Hiller before we saw this. What do you think about the overall video and like his hot takes on Hiller?
I'm sure this weekend review will get double the views of any of the other ones.
Dave just does stuff for views.
Absolutely. He ain't dumb.
Hiller talks so much shit about CFHQ. While I believe he does want to make CF better, he shouldn't be surprised that he's denied a media pass. Popcorn emoji. Hiller is living in HQ's head. Dave, I was waiting for the SEAL and the Marines to be brought up, and you didn't disappoint. Love Dave Castro, but also love Hiller. I don't know what Hiller does behind the scenes, but from outside, he's a good for the growth and visibility of CrossFit. What do you do behind the scenes, Hiller?
I just jerk off a lot.
Your sport, your business, your rules. Well said, Dave Castro. Yeah, that's true. Victim mindset resides in too many today. Hiller's the same in this instance. Have you played the victim at all? I'm trying to think if you've played the victim.
Just this time with the media pass thing, I suppose.
But how have you played the victim? Do you think he's played the victim here? I think he's just capitalizing on it. Like, it's fun. I mean, you don't have a media pass and you report on stuff. Why not report on the fact that you didn't get a media pass? What are you supposed to say? Just not say anything?
Would you not telling everyone that you didn't get a media pass make you not a victim? That's my question. If you just telling everyone you were denied a media pass makes you a victim, would just not saying anything at all undo the victimness?
I would lose a lot of engagement in the past couple of weeks had I not talked about it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I think that if you were like, I think you would have to say more to play the victim. Like if you were like, oh my God, this sucks. I'd already bought my ticket. I got my hotel room. This is financially going to be really tough on me. I was planning to go there and make a piece. This is going to affect my YouTube numbers. I might not be able
to Carson. Sorry. Yeah, so it's free.
To save money. No one should be surprised Hiller didn't get credentials. Wow, coming in hot against Hiller. I can't wait for the response. Dave, while yes, Hiller can be a bit too aggressive deep down past the bull poop, both you and Hiller want the same thing. I'm a fan of Hiller's content. It was only a matter of time before someone would occupy that space of pointing out all the mistakes and inconsistencies. Greg Glassman is a legend, and Sevon, of course, is the media genius behind CrossFit for so many years. Dave, the way you have led the community since 2010 has definitely changed lives and instilled accountability and integrity. Yeah, he did it in me. When I have personally been frustrated with CFHQ, Hiller's so disrespectful.
No.
Oh my God, they misspelled his name. Oh my God!
You do that?
How do I
have to take care of that?
You misspelled his name.
Did I spell misspelled?
Is that misspelled? Is it two S's?
I don't think so.
Misspelled?
I suppose. All right.
Misspelled. You misspelled his name.
I don't know her, but I guess that's right.
How disrespectful. That's good. I like it.
Disrespectful. Yeah.
Disrespectful. There we go. Okay, replay. Dave, have you thought of doing promotional workout for the games? Hiller hasn't been wrong, and he does talk great about the sport. 7,000 tickets sold for Europeans. If you don't give Hiller a press pass, it means you're scared of criticism. Watched a video of Dave watching a video. Here's my response to it. Hiller in about 2 minutes.
I hope he reads that next week.
J.R. Howell, thank you, buddy.
No problem.
Do you have any final words about the content we just consumed?
I do not.
All right. Andrew, any final words about the content we consumed?
What is this? Aaron saying that this is not right. Time to double down. So many have said this, and he doubles down. Are you saying I should double down, or that doubling down wouldn't be effective, Aaron? Do you guys know what he's saying?
I don't know, but what if the opposite it was true? He says this recap tells you from the group of the highest of the high in CrossFit HQ that Hiller's way of addressing CrossFit is not effective. I actually thought the opposite. I thought that this recap tells you from the group of the highest of the height in CrossFit that Hiller's way of addressing CrossFit is effective.
Double it down. Double it down.
Double and the double. Quadruple down.
What's up, Corey? You kind of look like Hebner in that picture, man.
All right, guys. All of us will see you in Carson. It'll be fun. Do you have tickets?
Ooh, good question. I need to know the answer to this. Tyler. JR, what is your view on honey?
I was eating it for a little while, like with apples at night, and then I just stopped. I haven't had honey in months. I instead just eat more grapes.
Okay. You ever put sugar-free Jell-O on your grapes and freeze them?
I've had that before, actually, at the competition here at Crucible. Trish made them.
It's pretty good, right?
It's awesome. Yeah, but I don't like keep them around because I'll just eat that. I'll overeat that like I will dried mango, mindlessly, and just eat it.
How much do you weigh?
I haven't weighed in months, but probably 180.
And you're like 6 feet tall?
Yeah.
Then we lost Evan.
I started answering texts. Does JR eat honey?
Not anymore. He did on Apple.
Pre-sex. Just pre-sex. Oh, what kind of meat all day?
Steak.
Do you ever do short ribs?
If I don't eat steak, I eat ground beef. But in the last few months, it's been just New York strips and top sirloin. I have an air fryer. 8 minutes and it's done.
Oh, really?
I just salt it on both sides with Himalayan sea salt, and I put it in the air fryer for 8 minutes, and that's how I eat it.
John Young, as he downed a gallon of Ovaltine on the show the other day. It's like, dude.
Hey, wait a second. That's how you cook your steaks, with an air fryer?
It is now, yeah.
What do you think about the way John Young eats? McDonald's and all that shit and Ovaltine and
No wonder he can't run a mile.
John is like, I mean, he said he's lost several pounds already. He's probably 5'10", 195, 198, something like that. I mean, even at that body weight, he's not too big for the sport. I think if John, more so than his training, I would love to know if he just ate real food that was not processed. So no processed food for 90 days, how much more fit he would feel. I bet would be nuts.
14 pounds of steak in a week. That's what you eat?
At least, yeah.
Dude, he eats waffles and Ovaltine and milk in McDonald's. That's his diet. That's what I know about his diet. And you're right. If you just clean that up.
Yeah, there's always a steak. Don't do it, Sevi. Cast iron, seared, and barbecued are the only way. We always have like when I walk out to the kitchen right now, there'll be a steak in a cast iron, like just a little undercooked, so that there's always one in there waiting for me.
Yeah, 14 pounds of steak a week. That's not cheap. I buy 4 or 5 of them at a time, and it's always $60. It's like, that's not cheap.
Don't skip on the air fryer. Wow.
I've never done it, but
dude. Someone told me that, and I was like, one of my friends said, "Hey, you should try putting that steak in the air fryer." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, dude. If you eat them like rare, medium rare, it's like 8 minutes. 4 minutes, flip it. 4 minutes, and it's just ready to eat. And it has a nice crisp to the outside of it. It's crazy. You don't put any butter on it. You don't cook in any oil. So it's literally just the steak with salt, and that's how I eat it.
What kind of air fryer do you have?
Becca found a Ninja at a thrift store for like $10.
Here we have the best air fryers.
It's that one right there. Yeah, that's the one I use.
Isn't it a son of a bitch to clean it?
Not at all. You pull the handle out, and there's a little almost like a grill at the bottom of it. I just rinse it out and then dump the water in the sink and put it right back in there.
How many can you cook there?
What? It's a toaster oven.
I have that.
You have this one?
I have that exact thing. Yeah, I make all my vegetables in there.
I've never even heard of an air fryer. Is it different than a toaster oven?
Yeah. But this has an air frying option in it, but it's a son of a bitch to clean, which is why I asked JR about it.
So
No,
JR,
I just put a piece of parchment paper down and then put the steak on top of it. That's it, and throw away the paper every time.
Okay.
JR, you can't see it while it's cooking?
No,
I wonder how much that Ninja is brand new.
Is there enough for more than one person in there, or is it just like a solo steak cooker?
last night I cooked. Well, you would probably know more than I do. I never weigh or measure anything, but the 2 New York strips that I ate last night for dinner were 1.33 raw. So I put both of those in. I put both those in the air fryer and cooked them at the same time and ate them. So what? A pound and 1.25, 1.2 pounds of steak.
What does Becca eat?
She intermittent fast. She typically eats.
She starves her. She's anorexic. She starves herself.
She eats whatever. I mean, this is in all honesty. She works out every morning, starts to eat at lunch, eats from like 12 to 8, and her primary meal is whatever the pharmacists get for free from all the reps that come in to the cancer center. So it'll be like, could be like grilled chicken and veggies. It could be anything.
How much is it, Sevan?
It's fucking cheap. It's like $80 or something.
Oh. How much did it cost at the thrift store?
$10.
10.
No way. All right. Yeah, I know they got these at Costco.
I mean, as far as convenience goes, I mean, with the kids and stuff, and just when I need to eat right then. It's.
Hey, does it live on your?
Cook another way.
Does that stay on your counter?
Yeah, it's like it never moves.
Parchment paper. That's fucking brilliant. Don't buy that kind Teflon coated.
That's what I read.
Yeah, fuck Teflon. Is yours Teflon coated, JR?
I don't know. I don't want to know now, though. The only thing my steak touches is the parchment paper. So unless I'm ingesting the wax that's on that paper, whatever.
All right, guys. Thank you. See you tomorrow. JR Hiller, thank you. Talk to you.